So the day I got my keys was so exciting because I was literally at my internship. I was literally interning. Like, what was I doing? Hello kings and queens, thank you so much for tuning into this video. Today we're going to talk about how I bought my first house at 22 years old, thanks to the almighty God. Before we get into it though, please make sure to go ahead and subscribe to this channel. Over here we talk all about how to reign in your young professional life with Jesus Christ. I have videos all about my job as a consultant. I have some fitness videos, I have some finance videos, obviously faith videos because I love Jesus Christ, you guys. And then I also want to start posting some fashion videos, so stay tuned for that. I think I have like one video on that. But I'm also gonna do like a house series. I have videos about credit as well, but I don't know why I've never actually shared this side of my life with YouTube, but here we go. But anyway, if you guys are interested in any of that, I have playlists in the description box to kind of direct you with what kind of videos I do. Make sure you subscribe to this channel and turn notifications on so you can join on this journey of reigning in your professional life with me. And yeah, let's get started. So where to start? So during my senior year of college, I was kind of contemplating where I wanted. Actually, I knew where I wanted to live. Yeah, I knew where I wanted to live, but I was contemplating exactly how I was going to do it. So I went to Penn State, which is in Pennsylvania, and I knew that I wanted to move to Dallas to start my full-time career here, like for sure. I've been doing that for a long time. So I was thinking like, okay, should I get an apartment or should I get a house? I'm actually going to do a video about that. It's like what's better, depending on what you want to do. But so stay tuned for that. But I knew that I wanted to eventually go into real estate and eventually you know, dabble into that area. So I was like, how about I just make my first investment and make my first property a residential property and eventually hopefully like rent it out. That was my idea. I was thinking, I don't think that renting an apartment is actually wasting money at all, but I just knew that since I wanted to go into something like that, like I could just make my first project my primary resident property and then go from there. So that was my idea. I was just like, oh, I'm gonna have a full-time salary, I can, you know, get a place, get a mortgage and things like that. I don't think I understood like how involving that was going to be, but it doesn't have to be stressful. So but we'll talk about that more later. So yeah, so when I moved to Texas, I stayed with one of my friends for like, I think it was a month or so while I was like still looking for places. You guys, I literally graduated, went to Italy, flew straight to Texas. I had an internship right after my graduation. If you don't know about that process, you can check out my how I became a consultant. But yeah, so I really did not have time. I was searching for houses during my internship. Honestly, it was the grace of God. Every step of this process was the grace of God. And then I found a place and then I moved in like literally a month after I moved here. It was literally all miraculous, praise God. But I'm gonna go through the steps of basically, oh my god, why is this not focusing? I'm gonna break down some of the steps that you're going to need to do if you want to purchase a house, and just some things that I've learned throughout the process. All right, so the first thing I'm gonna say is before you want to buy a house, it's really very vitally important that your credit is good. Like your credit got to be good, because obviously you're going to be taking out a huge loan. Unless you're buying it cash, you'll be taking out a huge loan in order to you know, buy this property. So your credit has to be really good. So if you guys have if you need any help with how to build your credit, I have a video about that. I have a video about explaining how the credit score is calculated, and also what I've done to make my credit score really good. So check those videos out in the description box, and I'll probably have it linked up above as well. But yeah, that's really important. Get your credit straight. I think the next thing you want to do is start your research early. So there's apps, Zillow, Trulia, a bunch of other apps, websites, you know, real estate listings where they have, you know, different types of houses, condos, where you can like, you know, just kind of just browse, see what kind of house you like, so you can start getting an idea of how much you're willing to spend for what you want, depending on what the area is. So I definitely recommend to look, pick like what district or what county you want to live in, because that all, you know, matters depending on how far it is from the city. It might be more expensive, it might be less expensive depending on what's around it. So I think that you should try to settle with like an area or like maybe 5 different areas that you want to be around, so you kind of have an idea of, you know, what your budget will be, and then what your amenities will be, things like that. So you kind of have an idea of what you're looking for, because when you talk to a real estate agent, you want to make sure you have like something tangible to say to him or her, like, hey, this is what I want in a house, so they can better help you with their search. So after you go through your browsing, you do your search, you want to determine how much house you want to buy. So have a budget. Be like, okay, I'm gonna take out a loan $200 to $250. You want to decide, okay, I want to get a house for around 200 to 250k, whatever. Like, get a range, price, a budget, so that again you have something to bring to your real estate agent, like, okay, this is what I want. Because you don't want to go to a real estate agent not knowing like at least some guidelines of what you want, because then they won't take you seriously, because they have a lot of clients, you know. So you don't want to come and be like, yeah, I don't know, I just want to buy a house. Like, they're probably not going to spend that much time with you if you don't know what you want. So you want to do your research and make sure you have like a ballpark of how much you're willing to spend on this house. So the next thing you want to do before you talk to your real estate agent is to get pre-approved. So now that you have how much you're willing to spend, now you can be like, oh, okay, so I'm going to go to a what do they call it, an underwriter, so you can get pre-approved for a loan. So say you want to like buy a house for like 250k, you want to make sure to get pre-approved for a little bit more than that, just in case of any negotiations or anything that you have to do with the house purchase, so you're covered. But you want to get like basically it's like a little certificate that says, oh, this person is pre-approved for this loan. And during that process, they have to check your credit. So that's why your credit has to be really good in order to, you know, get pre-approved. Especially like the higher the amount, the higher your credit score would have to be to get at least a good interest rate. But yeah, you want to talk to a lender and make sure you get pre-approved for a loan. And then after that, you find a real estate agent. Honestly, I feel like real estate agents are best found when they're like referred by family members or friends. So I would start there, like ask maybe family members or friends who have purchased houses recently, see who's in your network first before you just go online and find one. Like, I was just moving to Dallas, I didn't really have anyone who had recently purchased a house. I did actually, and they told me about my uncle told me about the lender that he used, but when it came to real estate agent, I didn't have anybody around this area. So I just basically went online. But yeah, so I just basically went online to find my real estate agent, and thank God it worked out fine for me. But I had 2 different ones. The first one, I feel like didn't take me seriously because I was younger, which was really frustrating. But then I ended up not working with her anymore, and then the second one was really good. It's good to remember that real estate agents cost nothing to the buyer. So the way that real estate agents make money is that they charge a commission to the seller. Depending on how much money the seller is able to sell their house for, they make like 3 to 5% off of that money. So to the buyer, the real estate agent is completely free to you. So just remember that, like, they're not trying to, like, they're not going to charge you anything, they're going to charge the seller. But also remember that the price that you pay is how much they get commission for. But most real estate agents are like really genuine about, like, you know, how much they think they can get the house for, everything like that. Because either way, like, a mortgage is going to be a lot of money. So whether or not they lose 5% of 5,000, sorry, I don't know why it's doing that, really does not matter that much to them. So just remember that it does not cost you as a buyer any money to get a real estate agent. The next step here is to shop for houses and then make an offer. So this is the steps that your real estate agent is really responsible to help you with. So they'll take you to different houses to go around and take tours, look inside, and then explain to them what you like, what you're looking for, everything like that. Excuse me. And you know, usually they'll show you like 5 to 6 houses, and if the real estate agent is really nice, they'll show you more. But like I said, like, they have a lot of clients and they actually have to drive through to all these places with you, so they like to either like pick like a certain amount that you can just go see and then pick one. But like I said, if they're really nice, they'll do more, like if you are sure that you're going to definitely buy from them. But yeah, so the way that the offer process works is that you want to put in an offer, and your real estate agent will help you with this, but you never want to go too low, because if the house is very popular and you have other buyers who also want to buy it, they might put in a higher offer than you will. So you want to make sure to talk to your real estate agent about what's a good offer to go in at, and that's something that they'll be really good at with helping you with, because you know, they know the market, they know the industry, and they might know how motivated the seller is as well. So make sure you definitely talk to your real estate agent about how much you want to go in for the offer. So when you do the offer, you send it in, and if you get it accepted, then you go under contract. All right, so during this time, like I said, under contract, you do an inspection. I would say make sure that you're there for your inspection. Unfortunately, I could not have been there for my inspection because of, you know, important family issues that happened during that time. But thank God, literally God saw me through. I feel like I wasn't even there during most of this whole house buying process. Like, it was literally the grace of God. But yeah, I couldn't be there for that or the appraisal. But I would recommend, if you can be there, because you want to see what they're putting out. You want to see, you know, what's going on. You know, you want to see how the amounts came to what they are and everything like that. It's just good for your sanity, and then to make sure that, okay, this is, you know exactly what you're getting yourself into. But yeah, so that's the time to do that. And then inspection does cost a fee, and you do have to find who's going to do your inspection for you. A lot of times the real estate agents will have like people that they can recommend for inspection, so just ask them if you want to. But just know that, like, if they recommend someone, it's probably someone that they've been working with for a long time. So if that makes you feel uneasy, you can always go out and look out for one yourself. Now you have to decide if this is what you want or not. If it is, then you go back to your lender that you got pre-approved from. You say, okay, I want this house, and you say the amount that you actually going to buy for, and you also let them know, you know, how much down payment you're going to make on that, so they can subtract that from the total amount, and then write a loan for the rest of the amount. So after you select your loan and you figure out how much you actually need to take out, that's when they will send for an appraisal. An appraiser will go to your house and check how much the value of the actual house is. So they're going and look at different things, the roof, the foundation, all that, and they will give you an actual value for how much the house is worth. And you would hope that the appraisal is at least how much you paid for, if not a little bit more, because you don't want to go into a house with like lost equity already. So that's really important. But they'll do that, and they'll give you the paperwork so you have it, so you know how much your house is worth. After this, you go into the close process. So for me, the close process is about 2 weeks, but that is like really fast and expedited. But I really asked for the lender to make it as fast as possible, because I wanted to just get to my own place as fast as possible, because I was about to start work, and I just wanted to, you know, set up and just make sure that I had like my own space or whatever. So during that process, they like basically check if you can make all your mortgage payments. So they'll ask you to give, like, you know, your bank account information, how much money you have currently in there. They ask you for all your background information stuff. You have to sign a lot of paperwork, like a lot of paperwork. And then you also have to get homeowners insurance, and you do that if you did not pay 20% down on your house. So I hadn't paid 20% down yet automatically, so I had to start paying homeowners insurance, and that goes away after you pay 20% off, which is the way they set up for me. And then they also give you like a schedule that has like your, basically it's called an amortization schedule, which is how much you're paying every month, and it breaks it down with like, okay, you're paying this much principal, this much is going to interest, this as much is going to insurance and taxes and stuff like that. And actually, I'm willing to do a video where I show you guys like a breakdown of my mortgage and how much is going to each different fee and expense, because I feel like that's something that I really wanted to know going into this. Because let's be real, like mortgages can be really expensive, especially depending on how much interest you're being charged. So I think it's just really good to understand how that stuff works. So yeah, maybe I'll do a video like that. If you guys are interested, let me know in the comments. But yeah, they give you all that information, and then I'm trying to think if there's anything else. But yeah, so that's the process of closing. And then after that, the seller has like a certain amount of time. They have it in the contract where they have to move out and you get your keys. So the day I got my keys was so exciting, because I was literally at my internship. I was literally interning. Like, what was I doing? I was at my internship, and I had to leave work early, and I had to figure out, thank God I was at my internship and I had to leave work early. Thank God that day was like a light day. Like, God, he loves me, bro. That day was a light day, so I could even leave early. But like, I don't even know how, because it was like a random day in the week. And so then after that, I drove to the office and I had to like write my name for like the deed and everything like that. It was just like, it was an exciting day because I was like, oh my god, I'm actually buying a house. And I had to sign like all this paperwork. Like the thing was like literally this thick. Like wow, it was so much paperwork. We have to sign your name over and over and over and over again. But it was like kind of exciting. And then she gave me like a bag of keys, and then I drove there and I moved in. So that was my experience with buying a house. So I feel like people say that it's really stressful, but I think it's not really that much. It's not really that stressful if you know the steps that you have to do. It's just very involving, but I would not say it was stressful. I think the only reason why it might have been a lot for me was because a close family member was going through a lot during that time, and I had to be there for it. So I think that was like the part that was like really draining for me. But I don't think the house buying process was stressful. I think if you know what you're doing, if you get pre-approved, if you just take the right proper steps, it can just be like a checkbox that you have to do every single day. But yeah, that was my experience with buying a house at 22. It's almost been 2 years now. And yeah, so if you guys have any questions about my experience with buying a house, it's actually a condo. And I'll post a video more about like condo specific questions that you should ask, because it's like a whole nother beast. But I just wanted to put this out there. If you guys have any questions for me, let me know in the comments. Let's chat and let's help each other out in this community. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you liked it, I hope you press the like button. What the heck? The light just went off.